Good afternoon. Welcome to Byers Small 76 field as the Lafayette Leopards take on the Colgate Raiders. This is one of the final games before the Patriot League tournament commences next week, and it's an important one as it will decide whether or not the Raiders host this year's Patriot League tournament. The last time the Raiders hosted the Patriot League tournament was in 2010, so this would be a great time for them. They've done fantastically this year. Their record standing at 6-2 in Patriot League. They are currently first, and this win would clinch that position going into this year's Patriot League tournament. The Leopards of Lafayette are coached by Dennis Bond, assisted by George Chapoy, Stephen DiMatteo, Michael Hurley, and goalkeeper coach Nathan McDonald. The Colgate Raiders are coached by Eric Ronning and assisted by Mark Plotkin and Michael Murrow. The officials for the game today will be Aaron Corman, assisted by David Carpinella, Jim Fletcher, and Clyde Best. As the Raiders get started to make their first kick, we see the game time conditions. 46 degrees, little chillier, the wind chill making it seem like 41. Cloudy, but just clearing up as this game has just gotten underway. It'll start with an early kick off of the shins of a leopard. Throw in for the Colgate Raiders by number 13, Tyler Forbes. Forbes is a senior, this being his senior game, and is looking to make his last final mark on this team and on this regular season play after his 4 years here. Little bit of dribbling will send the ball out of play for a throw-in by the Leopards. Your starters today for the Lafayette Leopards are number 2, Ben Marks, number 3, Nate Aronson, number 9, Grant Berg, number 12, Aiden Pisanate, number 14, Campbell Wayland, number 20, Todd Forrester, number 21, Christian Moisey, number 23, Josh Kruzek, number 24, Josh Koval, number 27, Joe Stefano, and in goal for the Lafayette Leopards is number 31, Brad Sieber. Starting for the Raiders are your goalkeeper, number 1, Ricky Brown, number 6, Ryan Grofey, number 8, Aram Uligian, number 10, Nick Rizzo, number 11, Colin O'Neill, number 13, Tyler Forbes, number 14, Ethan Cutler, number 15, Zach Tommen, number 17, Carl Brown, number 20, Troy Moo Penn, and number 24, Tim Oberg. Three of the 4 seniors being honored today will be starting, including Ryan Grofey, Nick Rizzo, and Tyler Forbes. These 3 men will face the Leopards and once again attempt to leave their mark as they play what may not be their last game at Byers Small 76, pending on the outcome of today's match. Goalkeeper Brad Sieber will punt the ball downfield, finding Brown on the Raiders. He'll tip it out, and that'll be a throw-in by Forrester. Header off as the Raiders look to take the ball back into Leopard territory, and they do. Number 14, Ethan Cutler, making his way forward slowly. He breaks away, looking for a man on the outside. 2 versus 1, shoots it into the middle, but it's blocked away by one of the defenders. The threat on the Leopards is not over yet, though, as we will see the ball is still deep in Leopard territory. Ethan Cutler was tied for first in league goals with 8 goals this season. He now looks to make a 9th and break away during this game. But the Leopards are keeping the ball close to the middle of the territory. Big collision there by number 24, Oberg. Excuse me, number 6, Ryan Grophy. And one of the Leopard players. There will be a Leopard throw-in, this time deep in Raider territory, as number 1, Ricky Brown, looks to keep this game close and tied at 0. High shot, rather, over the goalpost by one of the Lafayette. Ricky looks over and allows it to go out. This will mean a goal kick for him. 5 minutes passed in the competition so far, and there have been 1 or 2 attempts by either team to make a run early in the game, but so far we see a rather close matchup between the 2 teams. The goal kick by Brown will be headed off by number 20, Forrester, for the Leopards. That will mean a throw-in for the Raiders. And a bit of a questionable call as the ball tips out and possession is given to the Leopards. They're now dribbling downfield, but the ball is headed back into Leopard territory. Here we have another chance. Number 10 outside, shooting, looking for the opportunity, but he is chased out by several Leopards. Couldn't find any help there. And so, once again, the ball will be back in what looks like Leopard position. And Sieber will grab the ball up to stop that particular threat. Number 10, Nick Rizzo, looking to add to his impact on this program. Couldn't find his teammates though, and so we see Forrester taking the ball back through to Raider territory. Marks kicks downfield, looking for Koval, but unable to hit his man, so that'll be a Raider throw-in. Far kick downfield, looking for Cutler. Cutler gets 1 touch before it goes back to the Leopards. This time, almost intercepted by number 13, Tyler Forbes. He was running a little too fast for his own good, though. And the ball got away from him. Nice slide tackle there by Moo Penn, who looks to take possession, and he does. This time a free kick for the Raiders. He gets a nice touch on the ball, looking for Cutler. Cutler coming around Wayland. Battle of the 14s. It's now 2-on-1 matchup. And he attempts to make a shot, but it goes behind the goal from the corner. Looks like it actually went off of one of the defensive players, though, so this will mean a corner kick for the Raiders. There is a substitution as Ryan Groffey Sr. is applauded while he is replaced on the field. Ethan Cutler takes this corner kick, and it is easily picked up by Sieber, who tosses it far downfield, makes his man run for it. Here we have Forrester coming around the outside. He's waiting for some of his teammates to get back in. Passing. Finds Aronson. Aronson over to Pissanant. And there's what appears to be a shot a little left of the goal as Ricky Brown watches it go by, and this will mean another goal kick for him. Ricky Brown is second in the league this year in saves for men's soccer, Patriot League, of course. He's done a great job for the Raiders, seeing 1,486 minutes for them this season. Ball goes a little too far out, and so we have a leopard throw-in by Forrester. Forrester gets the ball over to Marks, finds Aronson, trying to get around, bit of a scuffle with Forbes, and he looks for number 23 on the Leopards, but there's a bit of a collision between Tommen and that player. He goes far down, looking to find Forbes downfield with the Leopard instead. Ball gets taken back by Cutler, though. So this will be Raider possession inside the Leopard territory. Finding an open man in Forbes. Forbes tries to get the ball over to his man, but finds only Leopards, who have done a good job keeping the pressure of the Raiders from getting to Sieber. We'll have a Raider throw-in. And he'll get around several defenders. Looking to switch fields. Finding number 3, Scudari, who subbed in for Ryan Groffey. Scudari looking to make his first move in this game. Trying to get the ball to Cutler. Cutler trying to kick it back over to Scudari. He does. Scudari looking for his man inside. Ball gets cut off, though. And the chess match continues. Over 10 minutes gone from this period of play, and the score remains 0-0. Consistent pressure by the Raiders, though, has made Sieber stay on his toes. Another throw-in by Forrester will be intercepted by Auberg. Auberg sends it back to Tommen, who switches fields, getting the ball back over to his teammate. They'll try to take it back into Leopard possession for Leopard territory for another run at the goal. Quite a bit of heavy traffic down in the corner of the field, so see Forbes trying to get around it, and now we have what to be a Raider throw-in down in possession, yes. Down in deep territory. He sends the ball into the center. And one of the Leopards has to hop over Nick Rizzo as he goes down trying to take the ball. So we'll reset for another Raider throw-in. A little bit of a scuffle, trying to send the ball into the center. But there's a foul on Colgate called during that scuffle, so the ball will be called back and it will be a Leopard free kick. He sends the ball far downfield, the ball arcing over quite miraculous sunset over the hills of Colgate. This beautiful campus housing this field, and the Raiders hoping to show it off in the Patriot League tournament if they can clinch this win. And there's a turn of tides as the Leopards have a foul called on them, so we'll have a Raider free kick. Sent down into the middle. Sieber backs into his goal. And once again, we have a foul called on the Leopards. Many of the Leopards debating with the ref, unhappy with this call, but it will nonetheless be a free kick from right outside the box. We have Sieber lining up his men in an attempt to block as much of the goal as possible. It is almost a solid straight shot on, though he has a 5-man wall lined up in front of the goal. Taking the kick will be number 14, Ethan Cutler, who shoots low, but a diving save by Sieber will keep that goal from going in. A little bit of strategy by Cutler, shooting the ball low while the Leopard wall jumped over, but Sieber able to make the stop anyways. And once again, a collision between Tommen and one of the Leopards. But no foul called on this one. Ball sent out of play by a Leopard, thrown in by a Raider. And he'll look to switch fields. Sending the ball over to Scudari. Scudari trying to keep up with the ball, and he's able to make it, so this will mean a 2-on-3 in favor of the Leopards. He waits for backup as Auberg comes back in. They're now looking back for the middle of the field. The chess match continues. He's run out by number 2, Marks, who does a good job for the Leopards keeping that defensive pressure on. There's a bit of a trip up, but no foul called, as Auberg's this time able to best Marks. Gets the ball over to Cutler. Cutler shoots off, and the ball is punched away by Sieber off of the head of one of his teammates. This then sent out the back for a goal kick for Brad Sieber. Quite a bit of excitement as almost 20 minutes have passed. Despite the 0-0 score, there has been quite a bit of action in this game so far. There will be what appears to be another foul. This time called on the Raiders, so there will be a free kick for the Leopards in Raider territory. Mark sets up the ball. He'll be the one taking the free kick. And there's a bit of a wait as he stands by while his team gets into position. And the game is back underway. He sends it down into the middle, almost high enough to be a shot, but the Raider defenders are able to intercept it. And we have another foul called as Ethan Cutler. It's unclear whether there will be a substitution. And it looks like there will be, as Aronson is coming out. And we have another Leopard coming in to take his place. Number 15 on the Leopards, Eric West, will be taking his place. And this will mean another foul on the Raiders, of course. This time the kick being taken by Passanante. And back-to-back collisions, this time a Raider on the ground. Point blank kick into his shin. He's able to make his way to the feet. He's able to make his way to his feet though. Number 20, Mu Pen, taking a bit of time just to make sure he's all checked out before entering back into play. And you'll see the players walking back downfield as it will be a foul on Lafayette, so a free kick for the Raiders. The Raider will wait for his teammates to get into position before taking this kick. The ref, I'm sure, hoping to avoid any other long injury calls. And here we go. A liner this time, shot almost directly to Sieber. Nobody on the field really moves as Sieber scoops it up in his hands and punts it back downfield. It's headed around a few times before Scuderi is able to settle the ball down. Looking for Cutler, but the ball is intercepted by DeStefano, who sends the ball back to Sieber. Forrester finds Kruzek. But the Raiders are able to intercept it. Ball getting a little bit away from Oberg as he looks for his teammates. Luckily, they're able to get another chance. Cutler making a run for it, dribbling around one and then two Leopards, waiting for his teammates to get into position. Sending it back over to Forbes. Forbes looking for O'Neal. O'Neal, a little bit of a trick play as Forbes come, but he's tripped up by Forrester, and that will be a foul on Lafayette. So this foul will result in a penalty kick for the Raiders. Sieber trying to shake away his nerves. Shoots left and scores. Sieber guesses right, but is unable to make the stop in time. So with 20 minutes taken out of the game, we have a score of Colgate 1, Lafayette 0. That goal was scored by Ethan Cutler. That will make his 9th of the season and set him ahead. He now leads the Patriot League in goals with 9 this season. Very impressive for a sophomore. And that will get things underway as the Raiders look forward to staying home this next weekend for the Patriot League tournament. Of course, that will only happen if they are able to maintain this score. So now it's up to Ricky Brown to make sure that this happens. He doesn't appear nervous, though, as he's used to this sort of pressure. Goalkeepers often are. Sieber sends the ball down into Raider territory. Forrester has a 1-on-2, but the ball is intercepted by Oberg. He sends the ball back down. And we have Stroud making a run for it. Stroud came in for Nick Rizzo. He's looking to make his first mark on the game and maintain that sense. Another almost opportunity for the Raiders, cut off by one of the Leopard defenders. Ball out of play will mean a throw-in by Kruzik. And ball is intercepted. Forbes looking for Cutler, but finding number 21, Moise, for the Leopards instead. The Raiders clearly trying to keep the pressure on and not let the Leopards take a breath. Liner down the field will find Mu Pen. And he'll send it over to Scudari after a short touch by number 17, Brown. And the ball gets taken away by Marks. Marks looking for his teammate and is tripped up by a Raider. No foul is called. Excuse me, there is a foul called. But this time not a penalty kick. So while there is still an opportunity here, it's not quite as threatening as Cutler's penalty kick was. There appears to be no wall set up this time. It's sent into the middle, and jumping into the air, Ricky Brown will take away that threat, immediately shutting down and quelling the hopes of those Leopards. He sends the ball back over to Cutler, who waits for his team to get into position. Sends it back over to Stroud, who then switches fields and sends the ball into the right side. A bit more juggling as the chess match continues. And now we have Scudari coming around, but a slide tackle by one of the Leopards will take the ball away. Not for long, though, as Stroud looks for one of his teammates in the box. Shot misses just wide as Sieber makes another dive, but this time does not have to make the stop for the Leopards. This will mean a goal kick for Sieber. The shot was taken by Ethan Cutler, looking to just keep adding to his record this season. Bit of juggling around will send the ball out of bounds for a Leopard throw-in as they try to put some pressure on the Raider defense and give Sieber a break. So we'll have another throw-in as the sea of Raiders and Leopards collects by the goal. This throw-in being taken high, headed around a bit, and ultimately going out the back off of a Leopard head. This will mean a goal kick for Ricky Brown and another chance to keep the pressure on the Leopards. Brown sets the ball up and looks for his team downfield. He finds Scudari, who is able to get it off of Forrester's head out the side, so that'll mean a throw-in for them. Another bit of juggling, this time a foul called on the Leopards will mean a free kick for the Raiders to be taken by Ethan Cutler. This time no walls formed, although there are 3 Leopards waiting for this kick. Ball sent over and around, but headed back out as the Leopards defense does a good job of taking care of business for Sieber. Long shot back by a Raider from midfield is easily scooped up by Sieber, and he'll throw the ball back down, looking for his teammates to try to turn the tide once again and see if they can't make up for this 1-goal deficit. High kick is easily caught up by Ricky Brown. Rolls the ball out, and Scudari will take possession. Sending that over to his teammate Oberg. Excuse me, Brown. Brown back to Scudari, this time hitting Oberg. And they switch fields. Once again, just trying to change up that flow and hopefully keep the pressure on. Nice little back kick by a Raider. Rolls the ball over to Sieber, who picks it up and punts it downfield. So we'll have Legion chase the ball down, send it back over to Forbes, heads it up and is able to get possession over. He kicks it ahead, but it's cleared out by Wayland, and there appears to be another foul on Lafayette. So Cutler will once again take a free kick. This time there is a wall set up for the Leopards, directed by Sieber, who's waiting. Sieber has played 1,170 minutes in goal for the Leopards. So definitely some experience. And the shot by Cutler goes over the 4-man wall, but Sieber's able to dive and punch it away from the right side, still protecting his goal. Unfortunately, though, it goes out the back for him, which will mean a corner kick for the Raiders. Now 30 minutes into the first period. Lafayette has made taken one shot, while Colgate has taken 6. 3 of those on goal. Corner kick comes in and is headed away by the Leopards, who then try to run downfield. Trapped up by the Raiders defenders, though. And they're able to maneuver out and get the ball back again. Scudari has the ball on the left side. He gets it over to Oberg. Oberg back to Scudari, who's created some room for himself. He sends the ball to Stroud. Stroud takes a nice strong kick, but it is deflected off of the shin of Wayland and will go back into Raider position territory. Now Marks will take the ball for the Leopards. This game definitely has been dominated by Colgate pressure on the Leopards. The Leopards trying to even up that pressure now and create some trouble for Ricky Brown. Number 14, Wayland, takes a shot, but it misses high and wide. Ricky Brown will have another goal kick with 15 minutes, just under 15 minutes left in the first period. So Brown will kick the ball down to his teammates. Looking to find Forbes. Ball goes just over his head though, so that will be a throw-in for number 20. We have a Lafayette substitution as Greg Bigiani comes in for Josh Kruzik. Some fresh legs, hopefully, taking up the ball. Another Lafayette substitution, Michael Bloom coming in for Grant Berg. Lafayette hoping to wreak some havoc on Colgate's defense. There's a throw-in that's chested away and hard kick by number 21, Moyes. That'll go way high over the goal and will mean another goal kick for Ricky Brown. And now we have a Colgate substitution, as we see number 16, Zach Pagani, coming in, as well as, Zach Pagani coming in for Tyler Forbes. Tyler Forbes doing his team a lot of justice, is applauded off the field by the stands. So that means that all three Raiders seniors that started this game have come out and are leaving it up to the younger side of their team to finish out the first period, giving them a bit of a break. Well deserved, I'm sure, after 4 years of a lot of running. Ball goes out of bounds for a Leopard throw-in. Back in Raider territory as 10 minutes remain on the clock for the Raiders. A little bit of juggling around. We'll give the ball to a Leopard who's tripped up, and a shot is taken after the fact by Wayland, but it goes left, misses wide on the goal. Once again, Ricky Brown watching the ball go by. No foul is called for that trip up, so we will have another goal kick from Ricky Brown. Tyler Forbes just came off the field, got an honorable mention this week in the Patriot League standing for his contributions to his team, while his teammate Carl Brown sophomore defender, won the Corvius Defensive Player of the Week. Both of their contributions helping quite a bit to put the Raiders into the lead in Patriot League play. And Carl Brown will kick the ball a little too far left, looking for Skadias. And an easy throw-in will be headed away as there will be once again a throw-in for the Leopards. And we have a little bit of fight as number 16 for the Raiders, Pangani, who just came in, is able to get the ball, keep the ball in, and get it to Raider possession. They look to move down the field, this time on the right side, trying to keep the pressure on and not letting the Leopards breathe for the last few minutes of this period. Another collision, but no call. This has been a very physical game thus far. And a kick off of the foot of a Leopard will mean a Raider throw-in in their own territory. He takes the throw-in, going short to his teammate. Unfortunately, not far enough, as the Leopards are able to intercept. Not for long, though, as they touch out of bounds, and we'll have a repeat of the same story. This time, Raiders throwing in. He gets the ball a little farther, and the ball's cleared back to midfield. Headed down, and they'll try to get control of the ball. We have number 15, Eric West, for the Lafayette Leopards. Sends the ball over to Wayland. Sends the ball down. Could be a little bit of trouble, and he avoids, number 19, Bloom, avoids the offsides call. Keeping the ball from getting too far out in front of him. Almost had a chance there, but unfortunately couldn't get it past the two defenders without the offsides call. Ricky Brown will send the ball back downfield. For the last few minutes, 5 minutes remaining on the clock. Scudari sends the ball over to Stroud. Stroud juggles around. He makes a left-handed kick. Goes off of the foot of a defender, deflected over and taken back by the Leopards. Another example of the Raider-dominated attack that has been going on throughout this first period. Nice slide tackle around. And that'll send the ball back to Carl Brown. Sends it to Scudari. Seeing Oberg. Oberg back over to Stroud. Ball's intercepted by Leopards, though. And so they will go back on the offense. Few nice touches. We'll keep the ball in Leopard position, and we'll have a switch field as they kick the ball over to Forrester. Gets the ball back to Bloom. Trying to even the score up here in the last few minutes of this half to set them up for better competition in the second. Hopefully trying to get some momentum. Almost dribbled around the defender, but sending the ball out the back. The Leopards will give the ball over to Ricky Brown for another goal kick. as he looks down the field. And we have another Lafayette substitution as number 24, Koval, will come out and Dante Piccolo will go in. And Oberg for the Raiders is able to settle the ball down, sending it over to Pangani. Pangani over to Cutler. Gets the ball to Scudani. And then there's another collision that will result in a foul on the Leopards and a free kick for the Raiders as O'Neal goes down. This free kick taken by Pagani. Almost a little bit of momentum generated, but that will go wide and give Sieber yet another goal kick. He'll send the ball downfield, looking to give his team their last run on Ricky Brown's goal this period of play to try to even the score up. With just under 3 minutes remaining, the score does stand at Colgate 1, Lafayette 0. So even one goal will tie that up. The Colgate goal scored on a penalty kick by Cutler, who added a ninth goal to his belt this season to put him in first for the league standings for shots taken. Goals. Another foul called, this time on the Raiders, so Lafayette will have a free kick. They get it underway quickly, knowing that they're running out of time in this last period. Switch it over to the left side of the field. But it is quickly taken away by Tommen. West able to get possession back for the Leopards as Marks will head downfield. Battling it out with Pangani. He's able to get the ball back over to West. West sends it to Bigiani. Over to Whalen. Whalen to West as they're trying to set up some room for a shot to be taken. No dice though, and they're forced to send the ball out the back for another Raider goal kick. The Raiders defense doing an impeccable job of keeping the Leopards at bay for Ricky Brown. An obvious sign of why Carl Brown got the Corvius Defensive Player of the Week award. 1 minute mark was just, the 1 minute warning was just given in the period. So Ricky Brown will send the ball back downfield for the last few seconds of play in this period. Once again, the score standing Colgate 1, Lafayette 0. The score remains the same through the second half. That will mean a break in the 5-year dry spell of the Raiders hosting, as they will clinch the regular season lead and will host the Patriot League Championship Tournament. And there's the countdown. Ricky Brown scoops the ball up and will set his team up for a 1-0 lead entering the second half. Welcome back to Bayer Small 76 Field as the Colgate Raiders taking on the Lafayette Leopards. Colgate is up 1-0. And they're hoping to keep it that way so that they can host the Patriot League Championship Tournament next weekend. We're just getting back underway into the second half. And looking to continue what's been a pretty interesting game. Koval takes the ball downfield. Lafayette definitely looking to bounce back from the first half in which they were dominated by the Raiders. Not in the scoreboard so much as possession on the field and pressure put on defense. Colgate's defense did a great job for Ricky Brown, ensuring that he didn't have too many saves to make. And the one goal scored by Colgate was scored by sophomore Cutler, who's now first in the league. 4 goals scored this season. Koval takes the ball back for the Leopards. Hands it over to Passanant. And the ball will go out of bounds for a throw-in by the Leopards. A little bit of a scuffle between the Raiders' defense will lead to what a lot of players thought was an out-of-bounds kick, but not so. The ball's still in play, taken back by the Leopards as they look to create some space from the Colgate defense. This time the ball sent far out of bounds by Carl Brown, which will mean another Lafayette throw-in. Marks trying to get around the defense, but unable to do so. He kicks over to number 12 and is easily stopped up by some Raider defenders. Those defenders very good at what they do. Try to take the ball back into Leopard territory. Mupen finds O'Neal, who sends the ball back to Uligian. And that will go out of bounds off of number 21, Moise, for the Leopards. So a Colgate throw-in taken by Cutler. Cutler will look back over, sending the ball down to Stroud, who's looking to create some space between him and the 3 defenders on him. He's not having much luck, so he'll send the ball back into the middle over cross kick, but unable to connect with a Raider. He finds Cutler, who takes the ball back for a little bit. Switch of field, trying to once again get around that Leopard defense and put some more pressure on Brad Sieber. Sieber's done a decent job this game keeping the onslaught of the Raiders at bay, although he was unable to stop the penalty kick by Cutler. He did make 3 other saves during the first half. This time the Leopards defense does a bit of work for him. And they'll kick the ball around, keeping Colgate on their toes, trying to maneuver back into Raider territory to get back on the offense. Marks trying to make a break for it. He'll send the ball over, looking for Koval, but finding a Raider instead. Another example of the Raiders' defense as they stop that particular attack before it really begins, sending the ball back into Leopard territory to make them pause for a bit. Toss-up leads to collision as one of the Leopards ends up on the ground. That's not there for long, though. And the Raiders will take possession back of the ball in Leopard territory. They're looking to put some more pressure on. And a long shot is stopped easily by Brad Cedar off of a one hop. Hard kicked ball, but he's able to scoop it up. Sends it out, but not for long, as Stroud's able to maintain possession for a little bit before coming into a rough patch with Moist. Their collision will lead to a Raider throw-in from the corner. It's one of many collisions in this game, which has been rather physical in nature. Throw-in will go, but there will be no real result, as there's a foul on Colgate inside the box. So that will mean a free kick to be taken by Sieber, sending the ball and with it his team back downfield. Overshoots just a little bit and will give Moo Penn the throw-in for the Raiders. Lafayette looking for one of their players, but instead overshooting him just a little bit. He's not able to get there in time before Ricky Brown can get his hands on the ball and send his team back downfield, looking for another attack route. Moo Penn giving the ball back to O'Neal, who sends it back to Uligian. And they'll switch fields looking for another attack, but the ball's cut off by a Leopard who's making a break for it, getting to the corner. Doesn't have much help though. He takes a side shot, and that misses but stays in bounds. Not for long though, and it will be a Leopard throw-in taken by Moise. And the throw-in comes. Headed away by a Raider. They're not out of the woods yet, though. It's bouncing around a bit before Moise is able to keep it in check. Sent back, though, into Raider possession. Over to Stroud. Cutler has a path open. He decides to take a bit of a wait, though. Lets the Leopards get back into position, and they're able to get the ball away. Could have been big trouble for Sieber, but Cutler stops the attack short, waiting for his teammates to get back in bounds. Ball sent back downfield to Ricky Brown, who will send it over to Uligian. Uligian finds O'Neal. Will take the ball into Leopard territory. Cutler then finds the ball. Not for long, though, as Moise is able to get the ball back. And a bit of juggling around. Another fall, this time by Moo Penn. He gets up quickly and is back on his way and assisting his team. O'Neal finds Moo Penn on the outside, who finds Cutler with another chance. Only has to get around Moise. Once again, he waits, slowly making his way forward, trying to make a breakaway, cross kick, and is unable to find his teammates to put the ball in the net. So that will mean a Leopard throw-in on the other side of the field. Leopards will take the ball back in. And an out of bounds touch by Mupen. Ball's quickly sent back downfield though by a hard kick and is picked up by Sieber. To stop the attack of the Raiders. Forbes waiting by the goal. This is his last regular season game here in Bayer Small Stadium, as well as the last game of 3 other seniors. Kyle Riley, Ryan Grofey, Nick Rizzo, and himself, Tyler Forbes, all making valiant contributions to the Raider program throughout their 4 years here. Long shot by the Leopards will go high and wide and give Ricky Brown a goal kick opportunity as 10 minutes have passed in this second period of play. Tyler Forbes in his time here at Colgate has seen action in 69 games and has recorded 9 goals and 3 assists. He's looking to make or assist in yet another to help his team on their way to clinching the spot in Patriot League play as the host of the tournament. Ball sent back to the Raiders. And they'll look downfield. Bit of confusion before ball is settled down by the Leopards by Passanant. He sends the ball back over to Moyes. Able to dribble around a bit. Once again, looking to get around these Raider defenders. They'll attempt to switch the field, sending the ball over to West and then to Wayland. Ball will be headed back to Sieber, who will pick it up and roll it to one of his teammates. Looking to find a new route of attack for his offense. Ball's headed down, though, by Tommen. And the field spreads. Moyes kicks ahead, looking for Marks. Finding a Raider defender instead. And another brutal collision. No foul called, though, as the ref was busy keeping his eye on the ball. And O'Neal almost takes a tumble this time. Turning on a dime, as they say, to maintain contact and get another touch on the ball. Nice block there made by Koval as he looks to keep his team in the action. But a foul on Colgate will lead to another free kick to be taken by Moyes once again. He sends the ball back downfield. Finds the head of Tommen as Mupen dukes it out with Koval for the ball in the corner. He sends it out the side. And there will be a throw-in by the Raiders to be taken by Uligian. They're now in their own territory, and a flying leap by Moyes lands him on his front as he's unable to get contact with the ball or break his fall. It's quite an impressive jump height, but to no avail for the Leopards. Mark's able to get the ball back. And he will send it to number 12. And a kick off of the arm of a Colgate defender will mean a corner kick for the Lafayette Leopards. This will be their first of the game, and they will hope to capitalize on this. To do so, they have several substitutions coming in. Corner kick taken, but stopped short by Cutler. The Lafayette substitutions are Michael Bloom coming in for Grant Berg, as well as Bigiani coming in to assist his team. Corner kick was taken by Aiden Passanant. No avail as they are unable to capitalize on that opportunity. So we'll have Colgate possession of the ball in Leopard territory once again. O'Neal dribbling around, trying to get around the Colgate defender, sends it over to Mu Pen, who's able to kick it off the shins of Koval for a throw-in. Bit of juggling the ball around as they try to create some space to get a shot off, but are unable to do so. The Leopards taking the ball back and sending it over to Moyes once again to start. It's intercepted by Oberg, though. Sent to Tyler Forbes, who takes a shot directly into the middle. That's a one-hop that Brad Sieber is able to scoop up quite handily. With 15 minutes gone from the clock in this second half, the score remains Colgate 1, Lafayette 0. That one goal, of course, taken by Cutler off of a penalty kick in the first half. That will be his 9th goal and a game-winning goal in this occasion to give them the hosting spot in the Patriot League tournament if the score remains the same. Ball dribbled around by some Leopards as they try to get it down and take control. Koval passes the ball ahead but is intercepted by Mu Pen. And it appears that the Raiders are looking for a foul but don't get one. So they will continue as planned. A couple of Raiders standing by for substitution. And they'll come in to play. So we see Mu Pen being replaced by Pagani. A second substitution, Chase Pagani. A second substitution will be taken by the Colgate Raiders. This time Amaragbi coming in for Scudari. Leopards maintain possession in their own territory, looking to put some pressure once again on Ricky Brown. Brown this game so far has not had to make any saves. He's had an easy night in goal so far, but the Leopards are looking to challenge him a little bit in this run. DeStefano kicking the ball over to his teammates, switching fields and looking to create a new lane, but the Raiders are able to intercept this pass as well. And so a bit more competition for the ball will ensue. Leopard makes a fall, and as Cutler makes a run for it, able to get around, shoots, and misses just wide. He ran past 4 Leopards and was able to get a shot off, making Sieber dive for the ball. But his shot was about a foot wide of the goal, so that will mean a goal kick for Sieber. Cutler looking to add a 10th goal to his stats this season, but is unable to do so on the run. So we'll have another run for it by the Raiders. Short-lived, though, as the ball goes out of bounds, and that will be a throw-in by Moyes for the Leopards. Just over 20 minutes have passed in this period of play, as the ball's kicked past. Ricky Brown will come out of goal and just barely beat a Leopard to the ball. That could have been trouble, but he's able to kick the ball back downfield. And Sieber will send the ball back on its way. That's quickly taken back. Forbes hands off to Cutler. Cutler back to Forbes, back to Cutler. Trying to tag team dribble around these Leopard defenders, but they're tripped up. Too much traffic in that lane. So the ball will go back to Koval for the Leopards. He'll find Marks. Nice slide tackle attempt by O'Neill. Gets the ball back over to Carl Brown. We'll send it downfield to Cutler. And back into Leopard territory. He waits for his teammates there. And the ball is intercepted by Marks. Bit of dribbling around. And the ball is stolen back once again by O'Neill. O'Neill finds Stroud, finds Forbes. Forbes finds Pagani. And they're able to dribble around a bit again, continuing the chess match that has become men's soccer. A nasty fall as one of the Leopards pushed O'Neill, but no foul called, so the ball will go back. Show of good sportsmanship as number 19, Bloom, helps O'Neill back up. And that will give Legian the chance to vie with him for the ball. He sends it back over to Oberg and is cut off by the Leopards. Off the side of a Raider, the ball will go out the back, which will mean another corner kick for the Leopards. But before this, we have several substitutions on both sides of the field. As Kruzek comes in for Forrester. And Rizzo is sent back in. Cross kick is taken, but no goal is made as the defenders are able to get the ball back around. So there will be another corner. For the Leopards. This time on the opposite side of the field. Cross kick looked to be headed in, but is able to get punched back out off of the shoulder of one of the Leopards. So that will mean a goal kick and crisis averted for Ricky Brown. Brown sets the ball down and waits to take his goal kick as his team gets into position, lining up on the left side of the field. Overshoots his man, so that will be a throw-in by the Leopards as Kruzik takes his throw-in and attempts to find some of his teammates in these last 20 minutes of play. We have a run ahead, but he's unable to get there before Uligian. And the ball will be sent out for another goal kick for Brown. A nice bit of defensive work there by Uligian, who's able to keep Petit on the Lafayette Lions at bay. Lafayette Leopards at bay. Ball is sent out, and that will be a Leopard throw-in. Leopard, not Lion. He'll take the throw-in, looking for his teammates. And also looking to tie this up in the last quarter hour of play in this competition. Throw in for the Raiders this time, as the Leopards are able to quiet the ball down. Almost another fall as two Raiders take on this Leopard, but not so. Cross kick looking for his teammate. And we have number 7 getting through, and a narrow miss in a very dramatic fashion. Brown not able to cover the right side of his goal. The ball almost goes in, but just barely out the side, missing wide. So that will be a corner kick for the Leopards. Brown got lucky there and is able to keep the score 1-0. Kick comes in, and Marks is able to maintain possession. None of the same momentum, though, that he had before. Great opportunity that the Leopards just failed to capitalize on. But we'll have another corner kick for the Leopards. This is reflecting the change in the momentum of the game. In the first half, there was a lot of pressure put on the Leopards by Colgate, and later, now, the Leopards are putting more pressure on the Raiders. Cross kick was very close once again to going in. The ball just kind of out front for the taking, but was kicked away by a Raider defender. We have a Leopard and a Raider down on the field. As another collision. Goal attempt and a diving save by Sieber, who's able to kick the ball away just a little. Another shot taken, and he tips it just over the crossbar. Sieber back-to-back saves there, trying to keep the deficit from growing any larger than it already is. That tip, though, will mean a Raider corner kick, so he is not out of the woods yet. Impressive bit of goalkeeping there by Brad Sieber. We'll see if he can keep that up as the sea of Raiders and Leopards collects around the goal. Raider stretches out his legs a little bit before taking this shot. Excuse me, this corner kick. And a little bit of confusion on the field as one of the Raiders talks to their coach. And we have a Lafayette substitution, it looks like, as well. Krusek running back in. Cross kick is taken. Kicked in by the Raiders, and that will mean a 2-0 lead. That corner kick bounced down. Stroud thought he had it under control, Sieber, but was unable to, as number 15, Zach Tommen, was able to kick it high into the net with just under 15 minutes left to go. That'll make the Leopard comeback quite a bit harder, as they now have to get not just 2, but 3 goals to win this game. 2 to maintain overtime. Good bit of teamwork there as the stands go wild for that kick. Sieber a bit unhappy, and we have more Lafayette substitutions coming in. That goal was scored by Zach Tommen, assisted by Jared Stroud, and that will be his second goal on the season. That will add to Cutler's penalty kick in the first half. And a foul on the Raiders will mean a Leopard free kick. Ball's high up in the air for a toss in Raider territory. A nice spin move is able to give Stroud a run for it. Stroud sends it ahead, but the ball is cut off, and the Leopards this time will go on the attack. Sends the ball back down looking for Bigiani. Bigiani, of course, has 2 Raider defenders on him, and so we'll send it over to a teammate looking to create some space here. He takes his time, although time is not one of his resources right now, as he's clearly running out here in the second period. Raiders work to keep the pressure on and keep the Leopards away from Ricky Brown to maintain their lead. Hopeful for hosting this year's Patriot League tournament, not wanting to travel this next weekend. Ball's kicked far over as the Leopards find Koval in their own territory to start another drive. And Brown will come out of his goal this time to scoop the ball up as it nears, to avoid any sort of attack or threat by the Leopards. He'll punt the ball back downfield. And there appears to be a foul on the play. As there is another substitution. This foul on Colgate will send the ball back to Ricky Brown. This time he will take what appears to be a free kick. We have another Colgate substitution as Ben Snyder comes in for Jared Stroud. Stroud having served his team well in his time, and some fresh legs just to keep the Leopards at bay. A Lafayette substitution as well, as Dante Piccolo comes in for Josh Koval. Foul on Lafayette will mean a Colgate free kick deep in their own territory, with just over 10 minutes of play remaining. Ricky Brown looks to take this free kick, sending his team back down the field. And with a bit of a scuffle, the Lafayette Leopards are able to settle the ball down. And off the shins of a Leopard, that'll be a Raider throw-in. Back in Leopard territory, looking to add more bricks to this already looming wall of an offense. As they do say, the best defense is a good offense, and Colgate has certainly showed that here tonight, though their defense has also been impeccable. Shot to the face of Piccolo will mean a Raider throw-in to be taken by Pagani. And another one down the field, as the ball is not in play for long. O'Neal looking to dribble around, but he gets tripped up by West. West making a run for it, but is met by the imposing wall of Carl Brown. Brown, a great asset to the Colgate Raiders defense. And another ball out of play will mean a Raider throw-in. As the score stands, Cutler's penalty kick will be the game winner unless the Leopards are able to make some magic happen here with 8 minutes to go of play. Raiders defense, though, is making this quite a hard task, as a foul called on the Colgate Raiders, with Marks being lifted up onto the back of Snyder. He sends the ball back downfield, and that will be picked up by Ricky Brown, who's done a good job this game, having to make only 2 saves. Both of those, though, important ones, as they do keep the score at 2-0. And we have a Colgate substitution as Ryan Bellavance comes in for Tim Oberg. Those fresh legs looking to keep the pressure on the Lafayette Leopards late in this game. Ball is headed back high and settled down by the Raiders as Nick Rizzo gets the ball ahead to Pagani. That's headed away by the defenders, though. And so we'll have another Raider pressure. Lafayette Leopards able to trip up one of the Colgate Raider offense. So that will mean a throw in by the Raiders. And outside you can hear fireworks going in the background, it sounds like. A fitting celebration for the Raiders as they end their 5-year dry spell. 5 minutes left to go in the game still, but the Raiders seem to be feeling quite confident in their win. Or in their abilities, rather. Throw in by the Lafayette Leopards is taken deep in Raider territory. Headed and scooped up handily by Ricky Brown, who stops the possibility of a threat and watches his team run back downfield. A little bit of dribbling as Pagani waits for his team to get into position. Sent back to Pagani, and West is able to intercept that ball. Sends it back to Uligian, though. And it is sent out of bounds by Piccolo. So that will mean a Raider throw-in as they look to keep more pressure on the Leopards. And a repeat as Passanat takes the ball off of his shin. We have Pagani dribbling around, but that's intercepted by Piccolo. And another flying leap made by a Colgate Raider as he's tripped up over the feet of a Lafayette Leopard. No foul called, of course, and that will mean play is resumed. Pasante has a nice chance here. He sends the ball over, looking for Bloom deep in the box. And a long shot is grabbed easily by Ricky Brown, who's doing a good job keeping his saves. His team in the lead this game. West takes the ball downfield, looking to make a breakaway run. Finds some trouble with some Colgate defenders, but a foul called on Colgate will mean a Lafayette free kick as 3 minutes remain in this game. Kick will be taken by Marks, who's already had one shot on goal this game. His team waits to the side and runs over. He sends it in freely, and a collision between a player and Ricky Brown. Ricky Brown on the floor. He's still able to grab the ball, though, and make the save. An impressive show of his commitment, as that save did put him on the floor. There's a bit of concern now as his teammates gather around him as well as the ref. He makes it to his feet, though, and is applauded by the crowd. And that will mean a continue of play and a continue of the same score. Colgate 2, Lafayette 0. Brown waits for his team to get into position. And sends the ball back downfield, starting the clock again. And we have a run for it. A kick over, miss. Sieber, and the ball is sent in. 3 tries, and this is becoming quite the bloodbath. An angry kick from the Leopards sends the ball back out, but celebrations are going on in the corner as the shot was scored by Zach Pangani. There was a save by Sieber, 2 saves in fact, in that half, but he was unable to keep up as the onslaught of Raiders continued to overwhelm him. So that will make the score 3-0. That goal scored by Ben Snyder will be his first in the season. And he will welcome his team's applause and celebration. All of them happy to see one more goal in their favor for hosting this tournament. And now we have a Leopard throw-in. All of them moving a bit slower now, seeming to have the wind taken out of their sails by that last kick. Under 2 minutes of play remain, the score 3-0, and it looks like Colgate will be hosting this year's Patriot League Championship Tournament. Foul by Lafayette will mean a free kick by Colgate. And almost getting around his defender once again is Pangani, but no dice. Now we have another Raider throw in, as the 1 minute call is made in the ending of this game. The fans chanting cheers below, ecstatic to see their Raiders coming out on top once again. Lafayette attempting to make one more final run for it. West leading the ball. He dribbles around Uligian, finding Piccolo. Piccolo finds Marks, purely academic at this point, of course, because 1 goal will not cut it. 30 seconds remain in the game. And a dribble around will lead to a cross kick. Unable to find his teammate. Marks will dribble around for a bit more as the Colgate Raiders. West takes one more shot, and that shot is caught easily by Ricky Brown, who will hold on to the ball as he watches his 4 seniors celebrate their final regular season win. That is the game, folks. Colgate 3, Lafayette 0. So we will be back here next weekend at Bayer Small 76 Field for the Patriot League Championship Tournament, as the Raiders hope to collect a ring for their hard troubles and their hard work these past years. Thanks for joining us tonight, and have a good evening. I'm Kira Griswold, and this has been a great night. Good evening.